Oh, hey, welcome to Teachable Cooking. Today we're going to make an egg substitute. Eggs. They're, I don't know, all the rage. They're, a controversial thing these days. So just forget it. Bypass all of that and make your own eggs. Today we have lentils or mung beans, right? So they're split yellow beans, lentils. Can be called a bunch of different things, but look for them in your bulk section in the grocery store, anywhere where you're going to find dried peas and beans. We really like these mung beans. They're the ones that work the best. So we have baking powder and turmeric and a little bit of chili for spice. The turmeric is for color, so just be careful on how much you add if you don't want to alter the flavor that much. And of course, good old salt. So what we do to prepare for this recipe is I like to get a cylinder, this little, thing that came with my immersion blender. I'll fill it up with about a cup of lentils. And then you're going to want to do about 2 cups of water, just to have, a 2-to-1 ratio, because you're going to soak these overnight, or at the very minimum, like 4 hours. I would go to 6 hours just to get things like thoroughly soaked through. So why are we doing this like this? Well, it's really versatile, and you can bring this to really any egg dish that doesn't have a yolk dependency, right? So you're not doing a poached egg with this. You're not doing an over medium or over easy, but great for scrambles, great for omelets, breakfast sandwiches, and our favorite twist, we like to make waffles out of them, because they're super portable and pretty versatile. So let's dress this up a little bit. I don't really measure a lot. Some people don't like that, but other people don't really care. So we do a little tiny bit of baking powder. So we just want to put that in there. This is going to give it that loft that eggs do when you have them scrambled. We want to do just maybe 2 teaspoons of salt. That was about 1/8 of a teaspoon of that baking powder. Turmeric, I like to include it whenever I can, because it does have anti-inflammatory properties. So here's another thing, is just a little tiny dash of spice. I like it. It's also optional. If you're not into a spicy situation, then don't use it. Who likes a good wake and bake? I might strain this out too, just so we get a nice, clean, truest to egg experience as possible. Okay, so that's about 2 tablespoons of oil. Just putting that in there. And for the magic part, we're going to turn these into eggs. Check it out. I like to have a smooth consistency. You can always add more water if you want to add things like heavy cream or butter, things that you might already add to your eggs, then that's totally possible too. Now you can see this really does have an egg consistency to it. So I just put 1 scoop and maybe like a little half. Now remember, we put that baking powder in here, so it will expand. And I like to just make sure I can get it within the ring of the waffle waffling area. And then you just pop the lid right on top there and let it do its thing. One thing that I notice with waffles is they always take a little bit longer than I initially think that they're going to take. So if you can give them a like solid 5 minutes, then you're gonna have a really good waffle. If you go and peek a little too soon, sometimes the ends will be stuck to the waffle plates and it'll open it up in the middle and you'll see the batter. If that happens, your waffle's not lost. Just close the lid and give it a little more time. We are infusing olive oil with cannabis flower. And for a little extra kick, I'm going to add some lemon rind. I really love doing cannabis oil with just, my trim from this harvest. So let's get to it. So just to get your lemon rind, you have a nice juicy big old lemon here. We're going to utilize that a little bit later. And a paring knife. And you just want to barely skim the surface, right? So I got a little bit of that white in here, but really what you're looking for is this, just the rind. So I may even kind of try to scrape that down just a little bit, just so we're getting just the essence of lemon, right? And so there we have that. We add it to the jar. Oh, I always love that smell so much. So I think I'm gonna add another slice, just another sliver in there. Yeah, that one came off nice. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna keep on adding lemon because I really love it. Okay, so there we go. We've got flour, we've got lemon. So you kind of just submerge the flour in oil. It takes a lot of oil. And then you have your oven preheating. I like to do it at around 240 degrees. Very, very low heat, right? So you see your oil floating around in there. I love utilizing these mason jars because it's like a one-stop shop. You really can just make your infusion in here, and I don't even strain them. I just pop, if some of the flour gets in what I'm cooking, I don't mind. I think it's just fine. So what I did here is I put a little piece of parchment paper over the top, and this is just to lock in those terpene profiles into the oil there. So this is what your oil is going to look like when it's ready to go into the oven. And we're just gonna pop it right in there. And let it do its thing. Now, that usually takes about I wouldn't leave it in there for more than 4 hours. So we're gonna move on to our next recipe because this is kind of a, I don't know, a double stacked episode or segment. I'm just kind of getting this lemon really juicy, and I'm gonna put that next to our infused oil. We've got some garbanzo beans here. And ooh, a fresh jar of tahini. Woo! I love tahini. How about you? I always like how creamy it is. So here we have the tahini. I'm just going to eyeball it, but this looks like about 2 tablespoons of tahini. I'll just scrape the knife off there. We're going to scrape the knife off again, but this is something that I like to do is, since we kind of squeezed this lemon already, I like to just stab it down the center and then again down the center to make a little bit of an X. I don't know if you can see that. I did get some tahini on there too. It's okay, it's all going to the same place. And then you basically make your own grocery store lemon thingy, and you can just unload it right into your bowl. And if you do this, you're also getting a lot of that lemon zest and the oils from the skin, so that's getting popped in that. So flavorful. Okay, so this is a recipe for very simple hummus, right? So we're gonna have a lot of bright flavors with the lemon, and then we're going to add in our oil. So just a few little chunks go in there, it's okay. That was about 2 tablespoons too. And when you have all of your ingredients in your bowl, I love this because it's just really a one bowl recipe. I like to add a little bit of salt, so let's do 2 pinches, and then you just like throw it over your left shoulder. Did you ever do that? That's something that you should do. So then we can just mash it around. Oh yeah, see, here's like a really nicely whipped hummus. Okay. Ta-da! And one thing that's really cool is this will get you high. So if you eat it, you know, and share some with friends, please be sure to let people know that this is infused with cannabis. You can go ahead and infuse it with CBD only. That's also a really nice alternative. Or you don't have to infuse hummus at all. You can actually just make it and enjoy it without getting high. But, I mean, we just made this oil, so we might as well.
Thank you.